So traders, let's talk about something here right now. See this market here? Woo! It's all dark in it. It's all dark. Not anymore. All dark. So then looking at the markets here. This is actually my office here if you guys want to know. This is my office here basically. Really just nice, tight. It's really just a nice, tight sort of thing there, and obviously the door there. Obviously I trade from home. That's what this whole thing is all about. I don't have a big giant multi-million-dollar a year business. I make all my money from trading and I make a small portion from my coaching. That's why I do everything from home. So that's why that thing there is there. I do everything from home. Now, here's the thing. You know what's coming up, right? There's a lot of people out there that are short the markets that think the market's going to go down. Now, two things I want you to be thinking about here. Firstly, have you studied history? More importantly, two of the really big names, Paul Tudor Jones and Ray Dalio, have both said that this is late 1999. Ray Dalio also did. Now, this is not me speaking. This is Ray Dalio speaking, right? Talking about, he said that QT is stopping and QE starting. I'll get to that in just a minute. But also that Ray Dalio and even Paul Tudor Jones, two of the most successful people when it comes to the financial markets. Paul Tudor Jones, one of the most successful traders. Ray Dalio, one of the most successful investors of all time, right? Who studied history and seeing these patterns form over and over and over again. Both of those said that where we are right now. Ray Dalio did an article recently talking about the coming melt-up that's actually happening in the markets. Now, we can be ignorant and think we know it all, or we can listen to what they're saying and take it on, right? So that's the first thing I do say. The second thing I do say is exactly the part of that, what I was mentioning there a minute ago. And what is that? What's December? What did they announce? They said QT is stopping, right? What does that really mean? QE starting back up. Now, what does that mean? Well, if we're doing QT stopping and we're going to start to do QE, we just don't know how much we're going to do yet. And we're about 1.5, maybe even 2. We're about 2% from all-time new highs on the S&P. I wonder what's coming down the road. You see what I'm saying here? So I believe the next 6 months is going to be one of the greatest opportunities that people have ever seen when it comes to that. Now, this is where a lot of traders are going to get in trouble. Here's why. And here's why. When most traders who trade these markets, right? When most traders trade these markets and they see what's coming, right? In the next 6 months, we're probably likely to see a big melt up. I actually have an 8,500 target based off a channel, right? Based off a channel when it comes to just the chart pattern there, okay? Now, 8,500. Now, if we do get there, maybe a bit higher, you know what's coming on the other side, right? Because if we do get that, right? If we do get that, you know what that is? What is that? That's now a bubble, right? We're already pretty vertical in the markets. And I understand why people are calling top. The economy is bad. This is bad. So bad, so bad, so bad. Bubble, debt destruction, blah, 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 blah. And the market's going to go back up. You know what I'm saying? So, what's going to happen is this is one of the greatest opportunities for you to do really well financially right now in the next 6 months. By just listening to the experts, not talking heads on radio, people like Paul Tudor Jones and Ray Dalio, but then also understanding where we're at right now, understanding what the Fed's actually doing. And on top of all that, listen to the fear and greed index. Every time we've seen the fear and greed index where we are right now, and you've been seeing me say this all over my YouTube videos, within 3 months, we've gone for a really big move again, right? Just like the start of the year. So I believe this year is going to be one of the greatest. This next 6 months is going to be one of the greatest times to do really well financially from this. And just riding this bubble. Yes, we're in a bubble right now. And it's going to get even more. All right? So don't be trying to pick a top right now. There's nothing here to call a top here. We're in a strong upward trend. There's a lot of fear, which is going to buoy the markets. They're doing QT, QE starting. So you wait till like January, February, March, when it really starts to kick in. Now we're starting to talk some good numbers. Silver, big move in metals and miners. There's going to be a lot of moves. But guess what's going to happen then? A lot of people now, majority of the people are calling tops recession, worried, fears, doubts right now. That's the reason why I'm so confident in saying, guys, this is one of the greatest opportunities I've ever seen. Because I'm seeing it from not only listening to perspective, Ray Dalio, Paul Tudor Jones. I'm seeing it from the fear and greed index, how people are so fearful. Whenever I see this, I know there's a really big move coming. And then on top of that, doing QT stopping and then QE starting at all-time new highs. Everything is to the upside from here, right? There's so much money to be made from these markets. We just got to go with that, right? And so, but what's going to happen here is this. The unfortunate thing is that most people don't see this coming because they're too ignorant. They've got too much ego in their head. They don't stop and let's go read a Ray Dalio article on LinkedIn, because it's all free on LinkedIn, and read his articles and see what he's really saying. So he's giving us some clues about what's coming up soon, or what the Fed's doing, or even study the thing when it comes to the ultimate fear and the greed in the marketplace. When there's the ultimate fear, we know that's a good time to buy. But here's what's going to happen though. In the next 6 months, we're going to experience this. Gold to the moon, metals to the moon, mining to the moon, stock market to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. But then guess what's going to happen? I'm personally long these markets right now. This is where my money is right now, by the way. And by the way, long TMF as well too. TMF, baby, right? Rates are coming down. We know rates are going to come down even more into next year. So that's the reason why I'm very long TMF. It's right now, the next 12 months, we're going to start to really see these bond markets come alive. And when they do, guess what? I'm already positioned for it. So when it does start to happen, whether it's right now or February, March, June, who knows? When it does, I'm already positioned for it. I'm going to start to make a lot of money from it. That's the way I'm playing, or that's why I'm trading TMF. But back to the markets here. This is the reason why it's so dangerous in these markets right now. Because most people are saying top, recession, crash. Therefore, the market's going to go for a big move. And everything else I'll talk about today. Okay? So, we're likely to see that in the markets. All we have to do is and again, it's not about me here. It's just about recognizing the patterns that work again and again in the markets. Now, here's the other thing here. This is where most people don't see. There is after that creates what? Even more. Right now we're in a bit of a bubble, yes. But when this finishes in the next 3-6 months, probably around June, July, I would say, then on the other side of that, now we're talking about an absolute severe bubble. Things are overstretched. And when that happens, I see a really big, fast and big correction coming in the market. Real fast, hard and fast. So next year is going to have a really big move for the first half of the year. Maybe, and then the second half of the year, we're going to start to top out a bit more, and then we're going to start to see some really strong selling. And here's what's going to happen. Right now, a lot of people are calling top. Market's going to blow up. Then a lot of those people who said that the top is in right now, then they're going to flip because oh my goodness, I'm missing out. FOMO's going to kick in. A lot of people are going to be getting involved with the markets. And when all these people get involved with these markets, and now most people are saying to the moon, to the moon, to the moon, we know then that's what? Now there's a lot of greed. Now we're getting too far away, right? Again, I have an 8,500 target just based off a channel pattern. That's all. That's how I'm getting that. It's just a big channel on the weekly chart for the last 5 years there. That's all. If you see my YouTube videos, you know that. But the danger is that those who see this are going to be most of them are going to be too late, because guess what? Guess what happens? By the time they get involved with it, we're going to get very, very close to the top. And then there's going to be dangerous. And then you're going to hear all these people losing so much money. And these people complaining that the market's manipulated and all this sort of stuff. And it's actually pretty much written on the wall. Firstly, there's so much evidence about the fuel underneath these markets to keep this thing going. Secondly, if it does keep going for the next 3-6 months, and we do see that move, the market's telling us we're creating a big bubble, big bubble, big bubble, big bubble. What happens to bubbles? They burst. Now, we don't know when, but if this thing goes to 8,500 on the S&P, that's creating even more of a bubble. That's when we should be more cautious, because we do know over the next, I would say, if that happens from now through to, say, June next year, then on the other side, we need to be cautious about the market, because we know we're going to get a big crash soon, a big drop after that, right? It's just a bubble. It's too stretched. We need to come back down to equilibrium. And then that's when we get a really big, hard and fast drop in the markets. And that comes in the markets. And then most people are going to lose a lot of money in the markets because then they don't understand these cycles and where we're going through right now. And I'm trying to give you a bit of a heads up. Now you understand a lot of reasons. If you watch my YouTube videos, even for the last couple of weeks, and you're like, who's this John Howe guy talking? I have a lot of money right now. A lot of money in TMF and even in the stock market right now for these particular things. And I'm benefiting from this. I actually have my money where my mouth is right now, right? And I have done now for a while. So, there's so much money to be made, I believe, over the next 6 months, right? But I could be wrong, guys. I could be completely wrong here. So, don't go place a trade based on what you're seeing me say here. I'm telling you what I'm doing. But also, there's obviously always a chance of things not working out and I lose all my money, right? So, I also have good risk management on my account. So, if these trades don't work out, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't have 100% on my account. That's been stupid. But then there's that big bubble that's likely to come, the big melt up that's likely to come. And then on the other side of this melt up, when the melt up happens, it creates even more of a bubble. And then when the bubble does really get to that point of the next 3-6 months, there's going to be a contraction somehow. And then when that contraction happens, there's going to be a violent crash on the downside. And it's going to destroy millions and millions of people because those people who are waiting, at that time, there's going to be a lot of FOMO, a lot of greed. It's going to the moon. By that time, we start to create a top, and within a few months, we see a really big crash.